Well, it's back to new sets. Quotageous, who lives about 10 miles up the road, says that I've just bought a Midland 278 and I've never seen you with a Midland 278, and I had to admit I'd never heard of a Midland 278, so I didn't want him driving over to beat me up with his record collection, so I thought I'll go out and get a Midland 278, and this is new old stock and came from Germany. I mean, is it a 78 plus multi in a different case? These seem to be around 19. These seem to come around about 2014, but now the Midland 78 plus got revamped with the blue display. This seems to have disappeared, so I don't know. So it's kind of a squarer looking thing, and let's see what we can find out about it. When this arrived yesterday, Mr. Chippy, who's here at the moment on this coronavirus lockdown, he wanted to open the box. I said, no, we've got to have an unboxing ceremony on YouTube. It's the done thing. So we get a destruction manual. If we can get it out of the packaging. It may even be in English somewhere. Oh yes, it is. Good. Put that to one side, we'll need that. What's this rubbish? Restriction of use. Right. Midland 220. Oh, we've got one of those lurking somewhere. Good. Customer registration, I don't think so. Not when I've been in this. So hopefully in the accessory pack we've got a microphone. Oh, that's nice. It's the classic type of mic you got back in the 80s with the with this Precision series, but with the up-down buttons, and it's in black. You get the usual bracket and the usual hardware. Right, we'll get this connected up and opened up. Oh, I'll show its front before we do that. So, having kind of opened it up, we've greeted with a loudspeaker that isn't pluggable, so that's our first disappointment. Well, first of all, I'll have a look at my notes on the Midland 78, because I've got a memory like a sieve, so I wouldn't know if I'd seen one yesterday, but you never know, it may be the same, or it may be something totally different. So I'll pause the video, have a look at my notes. So I had a look at the notes for the Midland 78 Plus Multi Blue Display version 6, and lo and behold, this is virtually the same. What a surprise. And it says on the board here, clearly says on the board, Midland 278, January the 7th, 2009. So considering the 78 Plus Multi was, I think it was 2015, 2016, something like that, this is like the early version, so they must have adopted this when they brought back the 78 with its blue display, and they must have discontinued this. So although this is new old stock, I suspect it's about 2014, and the board design is 2009, so I'm not expecting, it's not going to do things like AM CEPT in UK mode, because it's before that licensing change happened. So we'll get straight into this, and we want this on the UK channels. So I'm going to just program this onto that. No doubt I bought this from a vendor in Germany, so it certainly isn't going to default to UK channels. So we'll plug it into the test set, and we'll plug the mic in. Oh, it's one of those stiff leads, I hate them. Oh no. Nice plug though, lovely quality. 6-pin. Take the cellophane off the mic. Oh, that does smell nice. Right, to set it up for the UK. Helps if we switch the power supply on. So Italian is the first language in the book, so frequency band selection. Turn it on, pushing AM, FM and scan at the same time. Rotate the channel to your desired frequency band. See, this is back in the era of 1 watt in Germany for AM. And do what? To stop your selection, press the AM FM button. So it's AM and FM and scan while switching on. So AM FM, scan, switch on. UK, AM FM. I'm not a lover of blue displays either. I think the amber one was easier to see. Right, I'll just set the other camera up so you can see the power meter on the test instrument. So it's virtually the same as the 78 Plus Multi Blue. So we'll start with, we've got the VCO, we've got L502, 301, 302, 303 is probably in the box, and we've got power set there. So I think we'll start by putting the power up to full. So here we go into transmit, we're on channel 20. Do you know what, folks, it's spot on channel. I'm not going to have to adjust that. Good grief, it's done 8 watts. What's wrong with it? Well, it's capable of 8 watts, and we have a 3 amp bench power supply, and that's the absolute current limit. So I've never had a CB that's done 8 watts before, so don't know how that's kind of unusual. We know we struggle to get 4 out of them, don't we, so many times. Right, so I'm going to do 502 just for peak. 301. 502 was that, sorry, it was off camera. .302 for peak. And then I'll drop the power from 4.5. So that's just under 5 on that screen. I'll just show you this. 5, look at that, 8.5. We just drop that to 4. I don't know why that is, but never come across that before. So we will do the the power meter, and just before I tilt the setup, the power meter is RV202, and RV202 is that one there at the back. So next to that adjustable coil, which is part of the receiver, we have RV202. So just tilt that up so we can both see the results. So we want this meter to read something like, I'll tell you what, I'll just lose that camera. So key it up, we're getting a full set of, and I want it to read 4 just, which it does. So that's that set. So now we'll move on to deviation. FM deviation is 401, and 401 is just down there. We've got the channel controls wiring harness, and just to the bottom of that we've got deviation. So I'm just going to, before I put the oscillator on, I'll just give it a quick whistle. Yeah, that's about 1.4, so that hasn't come out of the factory, it's stupid power. So we'll just get our little oscillator out, set it to somewhere near. I'll put that camera back on. So 2.5, which is our maximum, is about there on the meter. So we want to set this to about 2.2, I would think. There we go. Now I'll just do the whistle test again. Make sure it's not over the top. Wallow. Wallow. It is just over the top, so we'll just backtrack on that. Wallow. That's excellent. That's spot on. Now, AM modulation, we're going to have to reprogram the set to do this. But AM modulation is RV201. And RV201 is just down there. So I'm just going to have to program the set for a European set of channels. So I'll just pause the video while I do that. So we're now in E mode, and we're now in, so it's E country and AM. So we've got 4 watts still in AM. So we now want to do the modulation. So wallow. Oh, of course I've got to reset the modulation monitor. So we want about 90%, and we'll just prove that 201's the one. Yeah, that's brought it up a treat, so that's correct. I'm just going to check one thing while I'm in AM mode. So I'll just pause the video. Well, that sounds pretty awful on AM. I've just found in the past that L106 was easy to set in AM without a circuit in front of me. Perhaps it's part of the AM, I don't know, but it's kind of, what's this kind of moaning and clicking, and sounds awful. Anyway, I'm going to get this program back onto UK, and we'll carry on with the receive part of the video. So now we're on the synad meter. Drop the signal to something pretty low so we can make the adjustment. 1 microvolt, 0.3 of a microvolt. I'll set it there, it's about 0.2. So it's L103. L102, and L101. It's 0.15. Just here it's at 0.1. Not quite as good as that old Amstrad CB900 I did yesterday. Bear in mind I've set this on channel 20 of UK because we want this to perform at its best on the UK channels. If we ever do anything on CPT using this, I'll be using channel 40. If you were doing this for a customer, for yourself, and you use both the CPT and the UK band, then you'd need to set this on channel 1 of UK or channel 40 of CPT, so you're in the centre of the band you're going to use. But this is deliberately being set on channel 20 UK for that optimum performance on the UK band. So that's all the receiver, it's just those 3 adjustments. That's working great, and we will now set the S meter. So we'll go over to an S9 signal, and I'll lose that camera. So we want the meter to read S9, and it's, I don't know whether that's 1 over S9. I'll just see how it adjusts. So the adjustment for that, for the S meter, is 401, which is the adjustment just there, 401. So I'll put the tool in there. It's 2 at a time, isn't it? You see, you haven't got that fineness. So it's correct as it is. It's come out of the factory correct, so that's great. So if we turn the signal up, we should get plus 30 eventually. Yeah, we do. And if we turn the signal down, of course, that will drop. So there we are. So we're not touching the VCO. I'd need the service manual to set that, and of course it's a new set out of the box, and it shouldn't ever need adjustment unless they've been fiddled with. So that covers it. I don't think we've left any stone unturned on that. I was very surprised of it doing was it 8.5, 9 watts or something, but made sure that's turned down to 4. And the danger is, I mean, if legality aside, if you thrash something like this, it's not going to last very long at all, is it? You know, it's like driving your car around on full throttle. So I'll be doing an on-the-air test with Mr. Chippy in the car. I'll just pop this on an aerial and we'll just see if we can hear any good or bad buddies out there. While screwing the radio back together, there was one thing I noticed, which I forgot to mention. This model has a 2.5mm socket at the back for an external S meter, in case you don't like the rather hard to see bar graph one at the front. And when you've got that mounted in a car, it's got a very small viewing angle. So we've got that on an aerial. We're in the UK, and I'll just have a flick around the channel. $19, Roger. Oh, it's another of these sets that takes a fraction of a second to go into transmit. Transmit, transmit. So it's some of these modern sets which are CPU controlled It's not like the old days where it was instant. Perhaps somebody can tell me what this echo business is about. I mean, it's going on all the time since 1981 when CB was introduced in this country. I don't get it. I mean, I deal in business two-way radio. You don't see the police and the ambulance service with echoes, do you? So Channel 9 as a local horticultural company tend to use it, but they've got such short aerials that I can't hear them for more than 2 miles away. So I don't know that they even know that you're not supposed to be on Channel 9, but there's people sat there on 19 at home bases with burners all day, aren't there, in the big cities, and nobody seems to bother with them either. Right, well, we're doing on the air test, and I've no doubt that works very well. So thank you to Quotageous for telling me about the Midland 278, which actually stems back to about 2014, and I'd never spotted one before. So there we are, all done. Thank you for watching.